What's up agents, Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 video. So guys, this video is going to be a build video, a very insanely strong skill build video. So if you guys enjoy damage skills that apply lots of damage, destroy enemies very quickly, you can actually use this build on legendary missions. I soloed the first segment of legendary missions with this build. It's very potent. It does a lot of damage. The cooldowns are insane. So this would be, if I wanted to make the best skill damage build, this would be the blueprint and this would be the template that you guys should use in my opinion. And this is what I use and it's very strong. So let's get into this video. So I think the first thing we've got to do is we've got to go have a look at the specialization. It's going to be pretty obvious. As you guys can see what's on my back. We're going to be using the Demolitionist. Now there's a few reasons for that. Well, to be honest, I wanted to make this build able to be able to deal explosive damage as well. I didn't just want to make it, a turret build or an oxidizer build. I wanted to make it both. So you can deal a lot of explosive damage. You can ignore explosions from other NPCs because you will be very squishy. So we want to have all of this active. We're going to be utilizing the rifles and an assault rifle or whatever. It doesn't matter because you're going to be mainly using a rifle for this build. Well, you should. So make sure you have rifle damage active. It will help a bit. Then we want explosive ordnance. This will help us with our explosive skills because we will be utilizing the Seeker Mine. Now the great thing about this build is you guys can use whatever skills you want, but I'm going to be showcasing the Seeker Mines and the Sniper Turret because in my mind those are the two best skills right now because you can damage a whole bunch of enemies and actually two-shot legendary NPCs if you hit headshots. So it's very good. So we're going to have a look. Another really strong thing here is the Fragmentation Grenade because you will be able to deal a lot of damage with this. Don't be fooled. And you also can ignore explosions every 60 seconds, which is great. You can use the Artillery Turret. This is probably the third best skill in my opinion for dealing damage. I put this on if I'm going into a room and there's going to be NPCs. They're going to be crowded in a single area. This works wonders. Probably better over the Seeker Mine. But the Seeker Mine is better if enemies are spread over a wide area. You guys have to adapt. That's why I don't feel like right now you can focus your build around two skills entirely. I change my skills all the time. And I will explain in detail when we get to the actual skills themselves. Okay, so this is the build. If you guys have not seen this before, you'll probably know it from my tutorial or my guide video I did last week. This is the build that I used in that tutorial and I wanted to do it because a lot of people have been asking me to showcase this build. So this will be my best skill damage build. We are just running all yellows. That's what you guys need to do. We're going to be utilizing this beautiful weapon right here, the Surge. Just go farm rifles, the targeted loot, and you guys will acquire this. My one is actually pretty well rolled. I haven't even recalibrated it at all. I would personally just increase the damage because the damage to armor is 5%, which is what you want. Perfect spike, headshots grant 25% skill damage for 8 seconds, which is very good. And this has no cooldown, so you just have to tap every 8 seconds an NPC on the head and you always have 25% extra skill damage up, which is good. This rifle isn't the best for dealing damage, but it's not bad. I mean, if you can spam it, it's got 380 RPM. If you get rushed, it's going to help you a lot. Now the secondary, you can use whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It's completely up to you guys. Now remember, you have got glass cannon on, so don't be fooled. You'll actually be able to deal a decent amount of damage. I know that sounds a bit strange, but you will. Now, if you guys have the send-off, you could go do that as well. That's my goal for today, is going to be doing that. So I'm probably going to make a video about it. But if you guys go over here to Technician and you have a look, the fourth one, I think, yeah, it is. You get the blueprint, the send-off, and that's exactly what you want. It has perfectly rooted. That's what I'm going to be farming for today, and I will be utilizing that shotgun in my secondary position. So make sure you guys do that as well. So the pieces are going to be straightforward damage. We're not worried about status effect because we don't care about status effect. These skills that I normally use don't apply that. My pyro build is good for status effect if you guys wanted to have an idea of how to build a status build. So once we've got our weapons in place, we're going to be utilizing the Wyvernware one piece, which is great because we get 10% skill damage. It's pretty basic and simple. You guys want to be rolling skill haste and skill damage on everything. And then on your mods, skill haste. Don't do repair skills or anything like that. This is not a healer build. You should always, you guys should never use your skill damage build with a healing skill. It's really not good. If you guys watched my previous video as well about incoming repairs and all that, you would understand what I mean. It's not going to help your team. So definitely make sure you just roll skill damage. So one piece Wyvern. Then I've got the Murakami. The reason being is because this chest piece is great. But also, skill duration is good if your turret needs to be up for quite a while, and it works with your other skills as well. So it's very, very nice to have this 20% skill duration. Now, I know the 3 piece of skill damage, but that's too much we have to sacrifice. So I wouldn't really be going for that. You can if you really want to, guys. It's up to you. Depends on your pieces. Remember, my builds are always templates. I don't claim to know everything, but this is how I run my builds, and I know you guys want to see my opinion on things. So I've got repair skills, unfortunately. I need a better chest piece. I've been trying to farm a good one, but skill damage is on there, which is what's important. So I'm losing out on a bit of skill haste. That's not too bad. Now, glass cannon works with skills, if you guys did not know. So you get 25%. So that's 50% skill damage just from our weapon and glass cannon. Now, remember, you know, you're not going to be taking damage because you're ideally with this build, you can even use the turret, you can use the sniper turret, you can use the drone, and the skills do the work. And your drone and your sniper turret, okay guys, this sniper turret does 9 million damage. You can one-shot challenging NPCs. It's so strong, and the cooldown is like 10 seconds. So it's all about the damage. You can completely stay in cover. That's why in legendary missions this build is so good, and it works really well, especially for solo players. I know that sounds strange, but it really does. Now, if you really needed to, you could also run a healer skill if you want to play seriously solo with this build. But this is just really good in a team. So remember, glass cannon works with skills, and these two talents work in the dark zone, guys. A lot of talents are bugged in the DZ right now, and these two work. So make sure you test your stuff, because if you want to take this into the dark zone, make sure it works against players, because some of them don't. So we're going to be using Hana Yu, which is a great set, one of my favorites, because we get skill haste and skill damage just for the 2-piece. So I roll skill haste and skill damage. It's a pretty decent holster. Now you can do it vice versa if you want to put, for example, China Light there and Hana Yu there. It doesn't matter, just remember that, as long as you got the set bonuses. The backpack's very important. You don't have to have the perfect variant. Percussive maintenance, I think there's one at Cassie Mendoza right now, if I'm not mistaken. Repair skills, now that's the 1 piece. It doesn't really matter, because the gear, the sets right now, there's not actually more sets that give us skill damage. So this is a good trade-off. Now you can argue and say, well, why don't you rather go for Golan, or why don't you rather use repair skills? Remember, guys, there's a reason why I use this, because I've been doing a lot of testing. So if you take my word for it, it's up to you. Now, you could use Energize, but remember, guys, this does not work in PvP very well. It doesn't in the Dark Zone at all. And you have to use armor kits. The cost us go bag as well. This would be a decent option in PvP, but I'm going to get to that in a second, why I don't use it, because the sniper turret does not get any more damage from being overcharged. So you can see where I'm coming from this, because the main focus is the sniper turret, because it's really, really strong right now in any kind of content, PvP or PvE. So that's why I haven't used this, but you can if you want. You guys, it's easier to proc energize with this to overcharge. But we're going to go, and I'm going to explain why I haven't used this when we go over the skills. So Hana Yu, skill damage, skill haste again, don't forget that. Knee pads, we've got China Light. This is a beautiful set of knee pads, skill damage, skill haste, max rolled, because we want that explosive damage for the Seeker Mines or the artillery turret, whichever one we want to be using. I've also got this right here, but I just wanted to show you guys this. I'm getting nice knee pads these days, which is good. So that's going to be it for the actual pieces. Now we need to go over the stats. We've got some great stats for our skills. We've got 100 skill haste, 100% skill haste, which is really, really nice. The damage is ridiculous. We're going to go over that in a second. Seeker Mine as well. Now, the skills, this is where it gets a bit tricky. When you guys are modding them, I would just put your best mods. Damage mods, extra ammo, and skill haste. Everyone's going to have different mods, but have a look here. So, when we actually overcharge, we're going to be getting the same amount of damage. The extra sniper ammo doesn't matter. The health is hardly even better. 100% rate of fire. That's okay, but it doesn't last very long. It's not really worth it in my opinion. That's why I wouldn't even bother overcharging with this build. I'd rather go for the extra damage. Because remember, guys, the backpack talent right here, well, we didn't speak about that, perfect tech support, it doesn't stack, because I always get that confused, mixed up. It refreshes all the time. So there's no cooldown for this. So we're going to be getting huge damage from this. We're going to be getting 75% damage at all times from the items on our gear and our gun. So it's just ridiculous. So make sure you do roll that. The Seeker Mine, to be honest, Seeker Mines are not as good as what they used to be. They don't do the highest amount of damage, but again, if you overcharge, you will be getting more damage. It just doesn't last long enough, and the output wouldn't be the best. But we're going to be... I always change my skills up. I don't know about you guys. I really, really do. But have a look at this, guys. So we've got 2.5 mil and 800,000 PvP damage. You could, if someone's got glass cannon in the DZ, you will one-shot them with this. This is more of a PvE build, but it's really, really good. And, you know, I love this skill. But, you know, you can go around, use whatever you want. The Oxidizer is also strong with this build. Any kind of damage build will work. The Hive works really well, but I would also go for status effects. I wouldn't really use the Hive. The normal turret also hits very, very hard. It's insane. You can do a lot of damage. I also put this one up quite often. It does like 170,000 a bullet to NPCs. But yeah, this build just works really well. It's just straight up raw damage. There's less utility than what I normally like to use. But if you guys are looking for straight up crazy damage, this is the build for you. And you know, it's not situational. It's very easy to proc. You will be killing NPCs for that tech support, and you'll always have this damage up. So it's just very easy and straightforward. There's no situational parts. It's really, really strong. This is my skill damage build. Well, the best skill damage build in my opinion. So I hope you guys did enjoy this build video. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing everybody in the next video. Peace out, guys.